everyone? Welcome into Post-Show Headlines. I'm Andrew Salciunas with my man John Kincade. We do this every single day after the show.
We do.
5 topics. Today, technically 6.
Really?
The 5th one is a 5A, 5B.
Okay.
And it's not the original question that I wrote down. I heard you and Brendan and Haley having a conversation out in the hallway that made me put it on Post-Show Headlines. See, you guys all participate here.
Sounds
we
good.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go with the first one, then you have questions 2, 3, 4.
All right, great.
So today, shout out to our YouTube audience that watches every single day on Kincade and Salciunas. I saw somebody in the comment section like, oh, wow, is Andrew ignoring that the Phillies lost yesterday? Now, that wasn't the topic today. And we got to it around 6:30. So sorry that you had to wait 30 minutes. The person was upset because when they won 2 days ago, we celebrated they won, but then we were quiet they lost. I got to ask, what goes into watching sports for people that like almost hate all the time? And I'm not saying like hate listening, but like there are people that like want the team to lose so that they can pop off on it. It's the weirdest freaking thing to me.
I think it's the people who are rooting against either your opinion, my opinion, a talk show host opinion, a columnist opinion, or otherwise.
Yeah, but if I'm pro Phillies, wouldn't you want me to be right?
They still can be, but if they doubt the Phillies and they think you're being too positive, they want to call you out for something, which didn't make any sense. There's nothing to be called out about it.
There was no big story from yesterday's game other than that they lost 2-1.
Other than Brandon Marsh plays outfield
and
a little leaguer.
And we talked about it.
We gave it
multiple times today. But to me, and maybe that's what it is. Like they just want the radio host or columnist to be wrong. But again, you're technically going against the Phillies with that.
No, they're going against you.
Okay.
They're going against you. They're going against you or the person who has a different opinion than them. They still want the Phillies to win.
Like I still remember the countless Ben Simmons when he was the first 3 years when things were going well, but because he didn't shoot, there were people that hated it to the point where like if he ever had a bad game, the lines flooded, man.
Oh boy!
Everybody needed to rip Ben Simmons.
They wanted to have their pound of flesh.
Right, but like, why? That was when things are good. That's when everything looked up. His first 3 years was when everything looked up for the Sixers. It's something that confuses me, and it's always been that way.
I don't understand it.
Even like in high school when you're hanging out with your buddies, like we're all Philadelphia sports fans, and yet if you don't like a certain player,
we all have our favorites, right?
Exactly.
But I think it's too. Sometimes you just go, okay, this is the person who's going to defend this athlete or this team or this angle, and you're just like, okay, defend them now.
Okay.
Okay, see it and defend it now.
Now that hurt my feelings.
It did?
No, I'm just going. I'm going to your next
question. Well, that's
question.
what I'm saying is too because
that's being a professional.
That was very good handoff there. I fumbled it.
You really did.
I was like Brandon Marsh fumbling there.
Bro.
We got into feelings talk today with Trey Turner and CJGJ.
Yes,
I personally believe, and I said it yesterday when we played the soundbite. I think that Vic Fangio was a bit of a jerk the way he answered the question about CJ Gardner-Johnson being gone. And I said that yesterday. I thought that he was a little dismissive. And
you said that even before
before any of this all came out.
Instagram post.
Before his Instagram post. Man. I felt bad for CJ Gardner-Johnson because I thought he sort of acted like, we're fine without him.
When he's played a very big part in your last 2 Super Bowl appearances.
Correct.
And Super Bowl
And when he wasn't there,
you saw the absence.
How much do you care about players' feelings?
So it depends.
Do you feel sorry at all that C.J. Gardner-Johnson might have had his feelings hurt a little bit by that? Because I do. Because I feel like he handled his exit this time from Philly.
Yeah,
the first time, I think he handled it poorly.
I hated him the first time because he was doing the Photoshop jerseys of all the different teams he wanted to play on.
This time, I think he handled it incredibly well going out the door. And I think Vic Fangio sort of gave him a little bit of the on the way out. And I think he took the cheese.
Yeah.
And his real colors came out.
I think there's context to all of it, right? Like, I know people get blinded by the dollar sign, right? So, Anthony Rendon. I'm going to use 2 examples.
Okay.
2 players that are hurt all the time. Rendon and Embiid.
Yes.
Rendon I don't necessarily feel bad for because he doesn't like the sport.
He doesn't.
He has said it publicly. Like,
It's a job.
It's a job.
It pays my bills.
I'm making money for my family. Like, he is the day he retires from Major League Baseball will be the happiest day of his life.
Yes.
Right?
He's told us that.
Whereas Embiid, I understand the shape conversation. I get it. But, like, we can also admit that he's had freak injuries. The face.
Sure.
Or I didn't know what an orbital fracture was, and he's now had it twice, right? Like, he's had freak injuries.
Okay.
And remember, we had the conversation last year when our first show kind of first kicked off. He's having the best start to his career, and a player falls on his leg, and it, bends it in the wrong direction.
Sure.
And that impacted the rest of his season. And he did force himself back for that Knicks playoff series, and he played great for it. And I remember saying to you, like, at what point does a guy like Joel Embiid go, I can't do this anymore? And so, like, that's something where I feel bad for him. There's things that he is his own enemy for, and
Sure.
I don't feel bad for that.
Yeah,
but
like the way he handled this whole offseason.
Yeah, but, like, when there's something that it's out of his control,
yeah,
I do feel bad.
I feel bad, like, when a guy like Embiid's had a lot of bad luck.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the bad luck. I don't feel bad for the way he made decisions to handle this offseason very well. But I can get that when someone's had bad luck.
I don't feel all right.
Like, to me,
I don't feel bad for Carson Wentz. You were a bad. You were a bad teammate.
Yeah, I don't. He was a bad teammate.
Like, if he was the utmost professional,
right,
and the Foles Wentz debates got to him,
right,
okay, I'd maybe feel for the guy a little bit. Big city, he's coming from North Dakota, all that kind of stuff. But the fact that and there's stories, Darren Sproles have spoken publicly about it, where he was almost like upset that they were winning. Like, you're a bad teammate. I don't feel bad for you.
I know somebody who really fell out of partial love with the Eagles because he felt that Foles should have been the quarterback and they should have moved Wentz. And he still, to this day, will make that argument. I think it's stupid.
Oh, yeah, at this point.
And if he's watching, it is stupid.
Yeah, wait,
Peter.
This far.
All right. Okay, we brought up age yesterday because a caller called in and said,
Jim and Cheltenham.
I've been watching the Phillies for 50-some years.
I know you guys. I know more than you guys.
So he came into that idea about, and I said at the time, I said, Jim, so you've been watching Phillies a little longer than I have. I've been watching Phillies longer than Brendan and Andrew.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that I look at them and say they know less about the Phillies than I do because I have more games in the bank of watching the Phillies. What does age as a sports fan, though, give you in your thing as far as level of respect? What does it earn you? Does it earn you a badge? Does it earn you a level of... Is there anything that an Eagles fan or a Phillies fan or something that is older than you that you feel they do have an edge over you on?
So the biggest one for me, and I have never on the air, ever, or even with my buddies, gave an answer on the Michael Jordan-LeBron debate.
Okay.
Because
so you're good with this. You're very good with this.
I didn't see Jordan play. Like, I saw him on TV when I was a child, and then I've told you numerous times, my dad took me to see Michael Jordan live. Mm-hmm. So I could say one day when I'm older, I got to see him play. He was wearing a Wizards jersey. It wasn't Bulls Michael Jordan. So
God, I feel old.
When it was at the FU Center. When somebody...
That's what I was thinking right now. FU.
When somebody my age says LeBron was better than Michael, I go, dude,
you don't even know.
You didn't see him play.
Right.
Now, if somebody says, oh, this Phillies team can't win because I'm older than you, that means nothing to me.
See, I think that's very fair of you, and I think you do a good job of that. I always have bowed out of any like Wilt Chamberlain conversations. I didn't see Wilt play, so I don't know that stuff about whether Wilt was so great or whatever.
Whether he actually.
But I always think about that is that I think age conversations bother me when somebody tries to argue something about period piece with me, and I go, you didn't watch it. I was in the stands for that. You didn't live it. You didn't watch it.
Right.
So I think that's the only thing that age-wise.
Yeah, like if I start trying to say like, oh man, I know all about Randall Cunningham. Like I don't.
I can know Ryan era.
I can know his stats. I can read things about him. I can have educated thoughts, but like strong opinions. Like no, I didn't.
Right.
I didn't watch the guy play.
You and Brendan love when Wendy's Day comes.
Every Thursday.
In fact, Haley constantly teases Brendan about that Wendy's is here or Wawa is here. There's food here.
Yes.
Because Brendan's like a teenage boy. He constantly needs to eat. If you are out, we are It's a weekend morning. We're down in Ocean City.
Okay.
We're getting ready to do the show. Imagine they let us do the show down the shore. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, we're going into Captain Bill's.
Uncle Bill's.
Uncle Bill's. What am I saying? Captain Bill's because I was just thinking that. No, Captain Bill's is the fishing boat. Is the tour boat that I'm going to go on in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so I was thinking of that.
Oh, wait, maybe.
Okay. Your breakfast order. We sit down. You're putting your order in. Do you have to look at a menu at a breakfast spot? I always am baffled by people who have to look at a menu at a breakfast spot.
See, breakfast is like...
You have to look at a menu
breakfast
to order
like,
breakfast?
Breakfast is a sanctuary for me.
Okay, you love breakfast.
I'm a big breakfast fan, and because I try to, watch my health and all that kind of stuff.
Because you were Chubby Tunas.
I was Chubby Tunas. Literally Monday through Friday at home, other than Wendy's days on Thursdays.
Sure.
I eat 3 egg whites and spinach for breakfast. Like, that's my...
It's boring.
That's
how you keep your girlish figure.
Boring. So when I go out, like, I do want to look at the menu. Now, I'm not a sweets guy.
So you do?
I'm not a pancakes, French toast
so you're
guy.
Not.
But
even when you go out to like a nice restaurant place?
Nope. So here's what I look for. Well, I know the omelet choices. Like, you know that. Like, there's no special omelet out there.
Do you make your own or do you get one that's on the menu?
I usually make my own. Do they have a breakfast burrito and what's in it, what comes with it?
Okay.
I love breakfast burritos. Big breakfast burrito.
That's why you love Wendy's.
The Harrison House Diner makes a mean breakfast burrito. I'm a big fan of it. Eggs Benedict. What kinds of Eggs Benedict do they have?
Don't do that one.
I'm a traditional Eggs Benedict guy.
Okay.
But I had one, dude. Remember that town in New York I went to, New Paltz?
Yeah.
I had an Eggs Benedict that came on top of a potato pancake, like a Lithuanian blinas or latke, as people know it as.
Right.
With salmon.
Ooh.
And the hollandaise sauce and an egg. Dude,
Can't
all
do it.
All right, so I'm sitting there, I'm reading the menu with my wife, and I go, this sounds like it's just too much. Like, there's just too much going on here. So I was about to just order the regular. And then as the guy comes up to me, I go, you know what?
I'm doing it.
When in Rome.
And when in...
Freaking delicious.
Say that's great.
And I'm glad, again, I looked at the menu and saw it. If I didn't look at the menu, I'm not seeing this weird salmon Eggs Benedict on a potato pancake, and it was freaking amazing.
Down the shore, 2 blueberry pancakes.
Okay.
Or the Belgian waffle. Or, now that I love omelets, maybe do an omelet.
Now that I love omelets, weirdest thing. All right, lastly.
5A, 5B?
5A, 5B. So you guys were talking about Price is Right.
Love Price is Right.
And hole-in-one contests.
Yes.
And if you won a car.
Right.
You and Brendan would both sell it.
Yes, unless the car that I won was distinctly better than the car that I own now.
Okay.
If the car that I own now, I would go, you know what? I would if I get a car and it's like this awesome car and it's just fantastic. I would keep that car, sell mine.
Yeah.
And then I would sell mine and take that money, and I would use that for the expanded gas, the expanded insurance.
So you amaze me because like you obsess over like the mileage on your car.
But I wouldn't
if you
care
could
if
go
I
from
went, no.
60,000 to zero.
No, but
you wouldn't take the zero.
But if it was my Price is Right car, because believe me, if I get the Price is Right car, then if I do that, and I hope to.
Yeah, but all these cars are beautiful. Like when you watch the hole-in-one contest, it's not a beater.
No,
like it's like it's
well, first off, if I get the hole-in-one, I'd be really excited if I did that. But I'm talking about if I go on Price is Right, there's a chance. 50-50 chance that the car that I get is going to be comparable to the car that I own.
Okay.
So I sell that car, and I just take the profit and put that in cash. And I'm not giving it to my daughter, and I already told her that. No, you're working for a living, you're off the payroll. I would gladly, though, if the car is better than my car, and I like it, I take that car, and then I sell my own.
Okay. Now the 5B. Have you ever won something like that before? Not obviously to the level of a new car.
I've won.
And not like the bids. I mean, raffle, anything. Like,
what did I win? I won twice. You know how when you're open, have you ever been at Walt Disney World at the opening of the park?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we were at the Disney World
I was more when I was
at the opening of the park, like when they're doing rope drop.
Yeah.
And we literally got picked, me, my wife, and my daughter when she was little, and got picked to open the park.
Oh, that's cool.
With Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
which is like the coolest memory ever.
That's awesome.
Libby was probably like 5.
Yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah.
Like with the mayor of Walt Disney World. We're up there with Mickey and Minnie.
That's cool.
As they're doing the whole show.
Yeah.
Which is one of the greatest memories of that. I won once. I filled out one of those things where Disney too. I filled out a survey, and it said you could win $1,000 in gift cards to Disney.
Yeah.
For filling out this survey, and you know how you never win, and I won.
That's awesome.
And I won.
That's really cool.
That's it. That's the only thing I never win.
I've never won anything of note. My dad, so we used to do the 17 game plan, and I think one of the guaranteed games is Fan Appreciation Day.
What did he win?
So they gave everybody that came in a pack of baseball cards or whatever, and some of the packs had a prize in it.
Okay.
He won a stitched replica Darren Dalton jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you meet Dutch and you get to know Dutch. Did you meet Dutch or not?
No, that was not a part of it. It was just come to the.
When you came here to the Fanatic, Dutch was still
I met. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you ever get it signed or anything like that?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, I forgot all about it. My dad, I don't even know if he's worn it. I think it's
Dutch would have loved that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have. But like that's cool. Like
that's a
you
cool
go
thing.
through the cards all
like
of a sudden.
Willy Wonka.
My dad's like, huh? And he went to the thing, got a stitched, not a game worn, but like a game replica Darren Dalton jersey.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And of course, I won nothing.
And you won nothing.
Yeah, but that's all right.
We should do that sometime.
That would be cool.
Have like giveaways from Kincade and Salciunas.
Yeah, I'm sure they would love it. The show sheets, and
baseball
the pens, and everything.
Yeah,
all right, everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll be back at it tomorrow with listener sent in questions on a Friday. I can't believe it's Friday tomorrow.
There's a theme, but I'm not telling you the theme. I'm going to see if you can figure out the theme.
See, this is where it's kind of baloney. He has the questions ahead of time.
Yes, but I'm going to see if you can figure out the theme as the show goes along, as the questions go along. I'm going to see if you can figure out the theme.
Okay, sure. Sounds good. All right, talk to you guys tomorrow.
Play along.